live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and let's get to this live. America is at war with herself. Now, Trump outlined a domestic war. Now, the Secretary Pete and President Donald Trump succeeded masterfully in earning a media attentions for all the fingers wagging over fat generals and admirals, dudes and dresses, and the warrior spirits was a sideshow and a tactical diversion from the main events of the day Trump calls to arm against a new enemy, Americans. While many may want to write off the days as embarrassing and clownless, it was also a highly dangerous turning point, one too many political leaders and everyday Americans are not marking for what it is. Was it really necessary to summon 800 of the highest ranking military leaders from all the corners of a global on a moment notice, despite security risks and at the orbited cost to taxpayers, just to issue a bunch of memos rewriting hairs and fitness standards? No, of course not. Trump needed these leaders in a room together so he could send them a clear message: get ready to deploy in a homeland against, in his words, the enemy within. Using the language that he used, and most importantly, labeling left-wing protesters as insurrectionists crossed a clear red line in civil military relations. It is the Insurrection Act he's seen to invoke, which will give him dictatorial like powers like we never seen used before in this country, not even in a civil war. The Civil War was a war between states and militaries fighting on battlefields. A Trump lead deployment of federalized guards and active duty troops to fabricate insurrection inside American cities should only be understood as war on American people. Trump long-term supporter like popular ringman podcast Ben may urge us not to lose perspective or worry because there is no real plan here. Such thinking is just silly. According to Ben, the president used colorful language. It is a thing that he does. But when the commanders-in-chief recent actions are matched to his colorful language, we should pay attention. The president have already sent National Guard units from Tennessee unwelcome to Washington, D.C. to federalize the California National Guards against the governor wish and send them to Los Angeles alongside active duty Marines. He has federalized the Oregon Guards, and when blocked by a federal judge whom he appointed, attempt to mobilize a federalized California and Texas National Guard force to be sent to Portland. Trump also says in his speech, we are going into Chicago very soon. And now reportedly followed though by threatened the governor of Illinois to neither deploy the guards or have the Pentagons take control over 300 of those force and apparently mobilize the Texas National Guard for Chicago. According to reports, the generals of the state's National Guards was curiously not invited to attend. Gathering the president references to his ramping up a quick reaction force that can help the civil disturbances and the related executive orders, making such troops ready for a rapid nationwide deployment only adds to this alarming chain of events. I told y'all this was going to be a nationwide that Trump wills to deploy National Guards, a crackdown nationwide. Now, a military leader should be focused on the very real threats to our nation and the South, China Seas and the Red Seas, and Ukraine. They should be training with NATO and patrolling sea lines. They should be planning for an increased numbers of challenges to our space and cyber, national security, infrastructure. They should be racing to reinstate deterrencies in age of hypersonic weapons, AI, and nuclears. But instead, they was called on to be staging for Trump and his secretaries of wars as the two laid the groundwork to use the tools of warfare against the American people and destruction. According to reports, it says why this key message may have been obscured by chest thumping about fitness standards, racist and sexist dogs whistling and disjointed. It says, according to this report, it says, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. This is what Trump is saying during a press conference. See what Trump is doing is very unlawful, y'all. And no one seems to stop him what he's doing. So they allow this to drag, y'all. And see, when I want to say this, what is at stake for the rest of us is time to pay closely attention. Now, at some point, you know America is going to go to war. Now, I want to say this. They killed our brother, Qasem Soleimani. And America is so powerful. She has the rights to define others. Mr. Trump killed my brother, Qasem Soleimani. Mr. Clinton killed my other brother, Ron Gaddafi. And that's why I couldn't support Mr. Clinton. And some of my black friends is very angry with me because I wasn't going to vote for Ms. Clinton. See, Mr. Trump, I respect you because you are the president of the United States of America. And you say that my brother is a terrorist. You got the power to define people. And you may not like me, so you may call me a terrorist tomorrow to justify what the government plans to do to me and the nation of Islam. But I am just inviting you to sit down and talk because I have a message for you from God. In fact, I give it to you today. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Kara asks the question, do you wonder that a man born from amongst you has been selected by God to be the messengers of his to the people and a warner to the world and the nation? I didn't know that I was going to be a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. But I like to tell you what my assignment is. See, Qassem, President Trump says, kill a lot of Americans. He's a bad man. So I killed him. He's bad. Where would a man be that he kills? Did he kill him in New York? Did he kill him in Philly? Did he kill him in Colorado or California or Florida? Where did he kill them? He killed them in Iraq. What the hell are you doing in Iraq? See, that man was no terrorist. He was killing members from an occupied army on the territory of Iran. He has the brothers of them from Iraq was trying to rid them of an occupied army. Now, brothers and sisters, I'm naming you, and I got weight with God. You occupied army, where are you doing going over into the Middle East? See, President Trump, where are you occupying an army in the Middle East? See, everywhere you sent for them, protecting your little funky nation. So now if I speak how I speak, you know I'm telling the truth. See, this is not a hyperbole, truthfully hyperbole. This is the real actual facts. See, you went there, not to say they're Iraqi people. You went there to spend trillions of dollars to make Iraq a bulwark, defenseless against Iran. And now look at the scriptures. Babylon is falling. Substitute Babylon from America. She's unraveling. America is falling. Why have you fallen, America? Why? Because she has become a nation of devils, a home for every evil person, a cage for every hateful bird. So have you become a nation of devils? Now, what will be the end of the war? Because many of you may think that if America ends a war in Asia, this will bring peace and prosperity to the people of America. Perhaps someday there may be a lull and a war, but not now. If America and Asia can find a way to bring about peace, of the war between each other. This does not mean that peace and prosperity is assured. Not at this time. There's still the Cold War between America and Russia and other parts of Europe to be reckoned with. Europe will become a dreaded spot when America leaves Asia. It is true, as the prophet has predicted, that America must come out of Asia or be thrown out. Each, America and Russia, two most powerful war factors of the world, is seeking to maintain their rule over the nations of this earth and even to conquer outer space. This will not last long. And they travel investigation into space, allow God to permit them to peep into his great unequal creation of power and might, the heavens and earth. The Holy Quran teaches that when Allah God gets ready to destroy a people, he opens the door of heaven to them. He gives them a peep into his great wisdom and secrets. But this does not mean that this adds power to the enemy to be able to war with the Creator. The reason for all this is due to the fact that Allah God is setting up a kingdom of righteousness, freedom, justice, and equality. Black brothers and black sisters do not look for high-paying jobs, drawing a big roll of money after a war, unless it is with the help of Allah God. You prepare this for yourself, which I advise you to do. The most dreadful divine judgment that have ever been witnessed by man are now coming on America. America is in a divine target because she could have better herself in the divine eyes of Allah God, came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. But America did not and will not better herself, as it is written and prophesied concerning ancient Babylon and Egypt. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. The Bible, Jeremiah 51, verse 9. Because she was not willing to do justice by her captive Jews from Jerusalem. So it was with Pharaoh when Allah Jehovah went after Egypt. The Bible, Exodus. Pharaoh refused to give justice to Israel and make war against Allah Jehovah and his prophet Moses to prevent Israel from going free of Pharaoh's enslavement of them. The war, America cannot win the victory. It is impossible for America to be the victors in this universal war because of divine intervention against her. Although she have enough deadly materials manufactured to try to win, can she win against Allah God? She boasts of her materials to be able to destroy the people of earth 30 times. If she was left free to use the materials, maybe America could win. But the divine die was set against her long before she ever became America. She can try and boast of idea of mine to deceive her black slave, but she will deceive herself and them. America is made manifest by Almighty God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, that she is a total, deadly enemy against her once slaves. For many years, I have written that America's greatest sin is the evil done to her black slave. Allah God tends to repay her for what she has done. She deceived the black slave right at the point of total destruction. She tried to rule the so-called Negroes with false and temporary promise by offering him high political jobs to keep him from turning his attention to self and kind. The black politician could and should use his political knowledge to benefit self and kind. Why America isolate the messenger of God from their minds with these false promises and make them to hate the messenger of God and to work against him, although the messenger of God is working for the interests of the black slaves. The eyes and ears of Allah God are open, looking and listening to the actions. It's not necessary for Allah God to use mechanical devices. Allah God is physically will, and He has will physical eyes and ears. He's capable of seeing and hearing everything we do and say. He has power to defeat us and our plans, which are against His plans. The American slaveholders want to deceive the so-called Negro into believing that Allah God is not paying attention to them. The white man wants them to believe that He is the God that they should pay attention to. I warn my people who believe an idea that the white man is the God that they should pay attention to. You will come up the losers. Allah God is backing me up and the work He has given me to do. The work He has given me to do is for your own black starvation. If you think that you have starvation with the white man, then go ahead with him. I'm not here to force you against your own will. I want you to know that if you are looking to white America for your starvation, you are headed with them to your and their destruction. There is no hope for America to win a war. There is no hope for the black man and the future of America. For America has no future for itself. You will not be able to win the war. The scholars and the scientists know that America cannot win. It is not just I alone saying this. Scholars and scientists will tell us America cannot win. We know by divine prophecy that America cannot win. If it was just Russia, China, Vietnam, and Korea using their judgment on how best to destroy each other, maybe America can win. For she have as much as they have in war materials and scientific preparation. America is capable of going out of the atmosphere of the earth and to fight them from there. But she would not be able to go out of the atmosphere of the earth and destroy the black man of the earth. It is only a mistake that one should believe in America's ability to build a race station in the air on the moon, for she will not be able to use it against us, for divine plans is set to destroy her. We have many things out there in space that could be brought into action against America, any other nation today, for Allah is the greatest. The mother plane. Now, the mother plane was made to destroy this world evil and to show the wisdom and mighty powers of God came to destroy an old world and set up a new world. See, the mothership is 12 miles long. Y'all gotta, it's bigger than the whole city of Manhattan. Man. See, this is not a drone, it's not a UAP. See, they already crossed that out. This is not a comet. This is not an atlas. But the mothership goes out 40 years. See, when I say 40 years, I mean 40 miles. It goes to Earth, gravity. And it can produce all its hydrogen and oxygen. See, the motherships, I've been saying, it's not like they little bullets or cameras. See, they want to destroy it. They want to get close to it. But if they get close to it to try to destroy it, they will be destroyed. Now, the white man knows that this is not just a plane to be played with, because other planes come out from the mother plane. And see, the nature we see of a new world is righteousness. And the nature of a new world cannot be righteousness as long as unrighteousness is in its midst. The same type of plane was used by the original God to put mountains on this planet. Allah God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the wisest to any God before him. As the Bible and Holy Quran teach us, he taught me that this plane will be used to raise mountains on this planet Earth. The mountains that he will put on this earth will not be very high. He will raise these mountains to a height of 1 mile over the United States of America. This reminds us of the prophet prediction at this time of destruction of the old world and of bringing in a new world. Behold, the Lord makes the earth empty and makes it waste and turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. The Bible, Isaiah 24, verse 1. There are plains in various nations today, but this is the mother of them all. Why? Because this type of plane was used before the making of this world. Why should God make such a sign of his power to destroy a nation? Because this is the final destruction of that people who have opposed God and his purpose and his aim for justice and righteousness. The right race is not a people who was made righteous and then turned righteousness. It was made unrighteous by the false God who made them. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that this plane is capable of reaching a height of 40 miles above the earth. The words could have been a sign meaning 40 years, in which the plane will go into action, and that referring actually to 40 miles. Allah God does not speak one word that does not have a meaning. Every word that he speaks has a meaning. The mother plane, according to what had been described of it by the devil's scientists, is capable not only staying up for a long period of time, but it is also capable of alluring the scientists. See, they want to attack and destroy it. If a plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, it will be destroyed instead. The white men have learned that this is not a plane to be played with. See, planes come out of the mother plane. In the late 1930s, the Canadian newspapers report that they saw the wheel, mother plane. It came down out of the skies. They admitted that it looked like a great city, and that something came down from it, and it appears to be a tube. But the tube-like thing went back up again. Allah God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, taught me that the 6 months to a year, the mother plane comes into gravity of this earth, takes on oxygen and hydrogen in order to prevent it to stay out of the earth's gravity until it needs refueling again. Ezekiel saw the mother plane in a vision. According to the Bible, he looked up, saw this plane. Ezekiel 1:16. He called it a wheel because it was made like a wheel. A plane that is wheel shaped can turn in any direction at any time. He admitted that the plane was so high that it looks dreadful. And he cried out, "O wheel." Ezekiel 10:13. Ezekiel saw great works going on in the wheel, and 4 living creatures. And their work was as it were a will in the middle of a will. Ezekiel 1:16. And when the living creatures went, the will went with them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the will was lifted up. Ezekiel 1:19. The powers of the lifting up of the four creatures was in the will. The four creatures represent the four colors of the original people of this earth. There are five great powers of the nations of this earth. The five powers are the black, brown, yellow, red, and white are the four original powers. See, the red is not an equal power. The vision shows the four creatures being lifted up from the earth. And when the wheel was lifted up, they was lifted up. And when the wheel stood, they stood. This means that they waited upon the movement of the will. In Ezekiel's vision concerning the will, he says that he heard the voice of one tell the others to take hold of fire and to scatter over the cities. This means bombs. It can mean fire too, however. The plan is to drop bombs which will ultimately be timed to boil quickly to a position of 1 mile below the surface of the earth, where are timed to explode. Allah, God taught me that these bombs are not to be dropped into the water. They are to be dropped only on the cities. It will be the work of the will. The will is the power of the four creatures, namely the four colors of the black man, the black, brown, yellow, and red. The red Indians is the benefit also for the judgment of the world. We must remember that God comes to separate from the righteous that which is hindering the righteous from making progress, and to destroy the effect of the poison of that which has opposed the righteous. The effect of the poison will be fully destroyed at the destruction of the source of the poison which has poisoned the righteous. It's like one being bitten by a rattlesnake. Quickly, medication is administered in order to minimize the effect of the poison upon flesh and blood until a complete cure is effected. The patient is well again. It is useless to try to ignore Ezekiel's vision of the will, for the make and destructive works of the will was foretold before it came to pass. The disbelievers believe that which he see present, and that which is prophesied to come. That is why he is the losers and takes the course to hell, because he disbelieves in that which is prophesied to come about in a particular day. This is what the enemy is trying to do today with the black man. Is fascinate him with sport and play, and the doing of evil to keep him from going to the God who is present. You never thought that day will come when you see your wife, mother, an old grave-headed woman walking down the streets today, half nude. See, a few years ago, they would not have dared to come out into the public like that. But now they do so because the devil has put his approval on this kind of entire. The desire to please the devil. They do whatever the devil bid them to do. The devil desired to take this black man with him to his doom. Let us not classify the prophet as liars and ignore the prophecy. We may cause ourselves destruction through belief in the devil instead of belief in the God of righteousness. There is no equal of the mother plane. This is the reason why she is called the mother plane. And the mother plane is made for the purpose of destroying the present world. She has no equal. Do not be surprised at the make of this plane, since it is from the God who made the universe of floating planets, stars which are supported only by the power of Allah, and their rotations and their orbits. Allah God came in the person of Master Muhammad, whom praise are due forever. taught me that the mother plane is a little human-made planet. It's not simple for Allah God to make a new planet if He wants to. The mother plane is capable of staying out of the Earth's gravity for a whole year. It's capable of producing her own oxygen and hydrogen, as any other planet is able to do. So the mother plane carrying the same type of bombs on her that our black scientists dropped it on the planet Earth to bring up mountains out of the Earth after planet Earth was created. The knowledge how to do this has not been given to the world right race, nor would they ever get this kind of knowledge. The knowledge of the world is limited. If the devil would get this kind of knowledge, we could just say that we are goers. However, they are not able to attain this kind of knowledge. What does a 6-day-old baby white race look like trying to compete with a 6-year-old child? Black nation. For the 6-year-old child can run all out in the yard and play. He can eat solid food. The power of the 6-day-old baby is limited. The knowledge and power of this world life right race is limited. The world of the white man was made from what he found and what he has seen and learned from the work of the original black man. The right race is far from being able to equal the power and wisdom of the original black man. The mother plane and her work is a display of power of the mightiest God, Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the wisest and best known. He is the mightiest of them all. Old Will said the prophet Ezekiel, she was so high up in the skies that she looks dreadful. She is capable of staying away from you who plans the destruction of her. She is capable of confusing you who will try to reach her with your means of destruction. There are scientists on the mother plane who knows what you are thinking about before the thought materialized. Holy Quran, Surah 50:16. Therefore, it is impossible to try to attack the mother plane. She can attack you, but you cannot attack her. The mother plane can hide behind other stars, make herself invisible to the eyes, that she does not have to wait on the power from the earth. She can produce her own power to go whatever she desires to go in space. The mother plane is not like your little bullets or cameras, which are powered by your limited powers. The Bible prophesies that today Allah God wished to make known to us that He is God. He wished to be respected as the supreme God. He wished all life in the universe to know that He is the greatest. The Muslim recognizes Allah God to be the greatest. He always repeat, you are the greatest. There is no God like unto you. None deserve to be served or worshipped besides you. Almighty will, I repeat, that there is plenty to make of the mother plane. There is much to the course operation of her work. Space here in this book is limited. But what Allah God taught me concerning the mother plane can be put into book forms. O will, made to rock the earth and to heave up mountains upon earth. O will, destroyer of nations. No wonder the prophet Isaiah prophesied it, that the earth shall read to and fro like a drunkard. The Bible, Isaiah 24:20. Let us seek refuge in Allah God from the destructive works to come, from this mother of plains. The decision, Holy Quran, chapter 78, verse 2 of the tremendous announcement, the day of decision. We are now living in a time in which we must decide on what shall we do. It is very important that we arrive at a solution, come to a defined agreement. So you black men of America are holding back your decision. You are waiting because of the people who have brought this day of decision to us by the way of rules. Their rule is in a way of injustice. Now, the God of justice is before us. We must decide upon whether or not we will accept a change of ruler, remain under the present rule that's passing from the scene. We must decide rightly in order to relieve the people of the pressure of injustice. Let our decision be for the benefits of our present and our future generations. We had no objection to that person who make up his mind to remain in what he is already in. However, this announcement of great importance is laid before you and me, so that we may come to some kind of decision, agreement on what we shall do about the truth of this announcement. The announcement is the truth. It's asking us to decide on whether or not we are going to accept the truth, remain in falsehood. It is called the day of decision. Decide this day which God you shall serve, the God of freedom, justice, and equality, or the same old wicked God who Allah God is here to bring an end to. The wicked ruler veiled the eyes of the people with falsehood, so that the people may take falsehood for truth and truth for falsehood. This is what the Bible and Holy Quran teaches us, and all an important announcements made by the prophet from Moses to the present day. The enemy of truth had deceived the people and make the people think that they would listen to falsehood, to make the people think that the prophet and his God was too weak to prevail over falsehood with truth. What is said here in this writing is directed to the black man in America. He is the real one who must decide on whether or not to remain in what he is in, or accept a better world that is ruled by the God of freedom, justice, and equality. My black brothers, I want you to know that you are in a pitiful condition here in this day, in which the announcements is being made to you to make up your mind about what you are going to do. In plain words, I wish to write here and tell you that you do not have it on time in which to decide on what you want to do. Thinking that you have it on time to decide is a mistake that people made in the past. Noah's people, Lot's people, was the losers for ignoring this announcement from these worthy prophets. They waited, for they thought that what they had was going to continue to be. We here in America do not have to wait and see, for America is folding up under divine chastisement and destruction is taking place before your and my eyes. Also, the Bible and Holy Quran prophesies of these days and what is going on. These days are the days of judgment of Allah God against the wicked. To see more may mean the end of your life and my life, as it was with the people of Noah and Lot, who waited to see more. They could not come to a decisive point of agreement. They waited, and maybe you too will wait. To wait for the truth to be fulfilled means that we will suffer the consequences of the truth for not accepting the truth. The day of decisions, as they was opponents of the prophets in the past. We have opponents of the prophets in this modern time. But all of the warnings that was given before these days, we can make our decision so easily. Remember, the people have no prophets nor scriptures before Noah. Again, remember that even as late as the time of Moses, the people of Moses, the Israelites, had no previously scriptures before Moses. You black and brothers and black sisters are better off. You have all of the scriptures that was given to the prophet throughout that whole 6,000 years of the white man on the planet Earth. And then you will be so foolish as to delay making a good decision until you see something happen. And as the Holy Quran and the Bible teach us, until you see the angels coming in a cloud of heaven before you make up your mind. But still, you probably will reject that. Surely will not come in a cloud of heavens. But as the Holy Quran teaches you, it will not be a good day for you who are ready for such time. When the angels come in a cloud of heaven, they will not be coming to do anything like preaching or giving you further knowledge. It is prophesied that on the day of judgment, the angels will come to execute judgment on you for not believing, and to save those who do believe. The preachers, the messengers, is the first to be judged. Then the angel comes to execute judgment on those who do not believe the message. The angels we see in the time of Lot are a good one to you today. Those people was lost. Angels came to execute judgment on the opponents and disbelievers of Lot in the city of the plain where he was living. The day of decision only means the resurrection and judgment of the present world. As Jesus prophesied as it was in the days of Noah, Abraham, and Lot, so will be today. They was eating and drinking and having a good old time, as they call it, but it's not a good time. It's a wicked time. The history teach us that by waiting there was the losers, but yet it will be the same today. It's the same for what's going on now. You are rejecting the truth, and you are accepting falsehood instead. See, naturally, the enemy of truth is angry with the bearers of truth, because by nature, the enemy was not made of truth. He was made of falsehood. But again, the Bible teaches us that whosoever believes the same shall be saved. This is true, whether he is white or black. If a white man, woman, boy, girl believe, even though by nature they are not the real righteous, faith will get them out of hell. Allah God threatened this world with. And the time will be prolonged. I'm sure that you know this. They also know this. See, a reading of them will escape if they had the faith in Allah, God, and his religion of Islam, as Jesus prophesies in the Bible. They even know an enemy give one of his least one, a believer, a drink of water, and that being an act of goodness, God will not deprive the act of goodness of his reward. Make up your mind. Come to a right decision. I warn you. Now, Jesus prophesies that when we see the fulfillment of the prophecy of this time, then we shall know by such acts of people, strange actions that we have never witnessed before, carry on by the people, know that the end is near, even at the door. Now, I want to say they will lie to you guys about a comet and an atlas, so that way you can believe the lies, and so that when the mothership comes, it's going to come before they tell you all these lies that they want you to believe. Because when you see a mothership travels 12 miles long, bigger than a city like Manhattan. See, Satan here is to trick, manipulate, lie to you, so that way you can make your agreement with death before God comes to make his final presence. Now, the Bible prophesies in Daniel and Matthew, saying that this is a time that man had never seen before. A man will never see such time again after this time. See, strange things is happening. The prophecy of Jesus says that parents will be against children. See, children will be against parents. Do you not see these things being fulfilled today right in our eyes? Now, America, we see, are against their people. We are already seeing that. And I want to say, not only America against their people, but they against everyone else. Now, the Bible prophesies that Jesus was explaining the hatred of the world. Now, not only we see parents against children and children against parents, but parents we see are murdering their children, and we see children are murdering their parents. In some family cases, parents kill their children, and then they commit suicide themselves. So this is going on today in the old USA, where the gospel of Jesus is preached every hour of the day somewhere in the land. And this time in which we are living, there is no respect for dignity. The president leaving the country to travel far to meet with rulers of foreign countries to discuss the strange things that are happening, the strange things that will happen between the nations. The beautiful and rich country of America, to which many people of Europe and Asia seeking refuge in this country, as the prophecy is now coming to fulfillment. In that day and time, everyone will begin to go away from America instead of coming to America. As the Revelation Bible teaches us of the prophecy that they will stand far off and see the fire of her, America, burning for fear of it. They will lift up their hands and their voices, and they will lament for her. We see America's trade is cut off, and all of her delicate, delicious things that she used to have in trades, it is all gone. 1 hour, one day, it came to pass here in the Western Hemisphere. The most wicked people who ever lived on earth are in the Western. As the Bible teaches us, that God says that to him, this is like Solomon and Gomorrah. God did say that the wickedness in the day of Noah and his people, and Lot and his people, the Ptolemaites, are no more than child's play compared to this wickedness of today. For they are highly educated, they are scientists, and making wickedness from themselves. See, day and night, up and down the streets, people are just killing, murdering each other. We do not know very much about what is going on in Europe, but we do see it right here in the city of Chicago, Illinois. The radio and television announce to the public that murdering killings are taking place continually. When shall you see all these things? Today, there's disrespect for one another. We see mother and daughters are walking the streets in shame to the public of decent-minded people. They are throwing their clothes aside from their bodies, trying to keep nothing covered but their shame, and some barely cover their shames. As it was, we see in the days of Noah and Lot, so shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. The Son of Man comes to judge man and mankind. The days have come. As Daniel prophesies, Daniel 9:26 and 27, and to the end of the war, desolation are determined. And for the overspreading of an abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Just think about it. At the end of the war, desolation. So they're putting in to the hope of those who expect to see a great boost of prosperity after the war. In the days of Noah, the children of the Sodomites came out happy that morning, and that was the end. They saw a cloud making up. They just considered it was a regular rain cloud, but that was the end. In the Bible prophecy of Jesus, Matthew 24:38 and 39. For as in the days there was before the flood, there was eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. In the time of Noah, the people of Noah was having parties, as you are doing today. And that day was the end. In the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, they were so wicked that they was willing to go to war with the angels in the house of Lot. The Sodomites attacked the angels of God, who had power to destroy the Sodomites almost instantly. The Sodomites warned that they had been watching the angels visiting the house of Lot. A terrible time is gradually approaching upon us. Time so terrible until it will make children's grave hair. The Holy Quran teach us. The Bible teaches us that there will be a time never witnessed by man, and there will be such time in hereafter. It's a great time. Day and night, storms are coming in the country. It is storming day and night. The Holy Quran prophesies of disasters, one right after another. This we are witnessing with our own eyes. Oh America, oh America, where shall you flee? The Holy Quran teaches us, black men, to take refuge in Allah. Today people laugh at you if you invite them to do righteousness. See, they make mock of you doing right. So did the people of Noah and Lot, as it is said so beautiful in Jesus' prophecy. So shall it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. When shall you see all these things that you now see? Know that it is here. We are living in the end. My black brothers and black sisters, I said, fly to Allah God for refuge and come follow me. I may look weak, but through me you'll find refuge in Allah. The judgment is near. See, everywhere that we look, everything that we can think about marks the end of this world. There was never a time in the history of the United States of America that the president goes out and tries to visit the heads of all of the nation that seem to be somewhat his equal. Is like a criminal who have committed a crime, and he hopes for mercy from those whom he has committed the crime against. We cannot escape our doom when it comes to teaching the Holy Quran and the Bible. They show no mercy at all to the black slave. They treated the black slave worse than any human being ever been treated. They continue to do so in the face of divine judgment. Remind you of the parable of the rich man and the poor man, as long as the rich man enjoyed luxury. See, he cares nothing about the luxury of his slave Lazarus. Then at last, the rich man flew into poverty. He was unable to get help, even from himself. The Bible says of the poor black slave that none helped him. Now the rich man gets in the place of his one slave. The rich man can witness how it feels to be a poor man. The parable says, at last the rich man dies. In hell he lift up his eyes. He saw his slave and a blossom Abraham in the heaven that the slave had been promised that he would get into. Such a beautiful heaven that the poor slave was lolling around in. The rich man cried out to his slave to share hell with him. He asked the slave to bring him a drop of water in hell. He knew that if the slave tried to get to hell with a drop of water, the slave will never get to heaven. The rich man will be happy if he received a drop of water to ease his pain and torment. If the slave could not come to him with a drop of water, and go to some of the rich man's brother, whom the rich man knew was bound to get a taste of the same hell that the rich man was in. The rich man said, Father Abraham, if you will not let Lazarus come to me, then send him to my brothers. And words to say, they are bound to get hell too. So I said to you, time is not far off. This parable is now in the working. I said to you, my black brothers, Lazarus tried to stay in a blossom of Abraham, because no man came to us, as the Bible teaches us. No man came to the poor, Lazarus, lost found. No one aided him. I have been begging for help to borrow money, saying that we will give the extreme interest. See, no one comes to our aid yet. So the white man has tried to prevent everyone who would give us a little help. So Allah God came to help us from ourselves. May Allah God bless us to do His will and bless us to please Him. For Allah God is the only help that we have. I do not care what interest we offer. No one wants to loan us. They know that we are well worth the loan, but they do not want us to be helped. They figure that we are going too fast, as it is. Oh rich man, your days have come. Your fall has come. And no one will help you. They do not want to come near. They see the divine destruction licking his tongue about you on all sides. They do not want to get near to you. Europe is standing for her and will not come there. She does not want anything of you. See, Europe see you're doing, and she does not want any herself. To the white slave masters in hell, he lift up his eyes. The worst is yet to come. You see, according to the radio and television, and according to the individual conversation, and according to the conversation heard between the government's officials concerning a problem of trying to find a way to peace for the people, and a way to find a stoppage of the fall of the money markets and unemployment, and a stoppage to the revolutions between the dissatisfied and the dissatisfied, and to find a way to be able to eat and to keep the hungry eating from his own labor. Pacification is offered but does not satisfy. With the nation rejecting peace offer, and the nation laughing and making mock of you, ever seeking peace and friendship. As it is written, peace is desired more than fine gold, Now, to see all these things coming to pass, things that we did not know that we would see. We did not know that we would see such a Goliath, such a giant fall. Goliath, who had defiled the nation of the earth, to come out and fight with him, as Goliath did before Israel. Now, nation make mock of the great giant of the earth, America. The sword within and the sword without. See, trouble seemed to have no end. And with tens of millions of free black slaves crying for freedom, justice, and equality from the white slave masters. And the white slave master wanting to deceive the black slave and make promises that this white slave master does not intend to fulfill to free the black slave. And with the free black slave thinking that he would eat some crumbs of freedom, justice, and equality from his white slave master, the free black slave will be greatly deceived. The white slave master cannot free himself from his enemies, not to think of the white slave master freeing himself from the consequences of the dissatisfied world. So with the worst yet to come, I said to you, my black brothers and black sisters, fly to Allah and come follow me. There are some intelligent whites, people who know and who will bear witness with me that the worst is yet to come. Look at Texas. There's a warden at a certain prison house who send the believers Muslims to the temple so that they may listen to the truth, which is their salvation today, to accept the truth. I think that this is a very wise warden. It is like the general, the Bible. Now the general, the admiral, was wrong, and Elijah was right. The general took 400 Elijah followers and hid and fed them with the bread in order to save them from hunger while they was in captivity. I said to you leaders, remember the above says of this right, that the worst is yet to come. As the Bible teaches us, the time will come that have never come before, and that those understood, their eyes will be filling now with fear, and the eyes will go away in a hole, looking at things that they saw coming on their people, the trouble and destruction and the pledge. Look at the earthquakes that are taking place. Those earthquakes on their way here. We are feeling the earth shaking on our feet across the countries, as the Holy Quran prophesies to us. You will hear it coming from a distant place. America is beset all around now with trouble and destruction which have happened. America thought that she was immune to the trouble and destruction which are going on in other nations. Now the same trouble and destruction that you read of as happening in other countries and to other nations, these same troubles and destruction we see with the evil and gruesome sounds we see are knocking on the doors of America. Now, will America repent? Now we know America is at war with herself. See, this is a great question we need to ask. America knows her evil doing against us, but to repent of it, I doubt it much. She feels that she tries to make up with us for evil doing to us. She would be inviting her disgrace amongst the nations of the earth. Determination to try to keep the so-called from believing in the true God, Allah, and the true religion of Islam, which is our starvation. They are using many tricks now to deceive the so-called nigga. The foolish so-called Negro are falling for them. False friendship, we see, is not able to stand up for very long. An enemy is just not able to put over false friendship for long. You should be able to know them and their tricks as long as they have been putting them all over on you. According to the Holy Quran, Surah 60, friendly relation with enemy of Islam is forbidden. O you who believe, do not take my enemies and your enemies for friends. We offer them love where they had denied what have come to you of the truth, driving out the apostle yourself because you believe in Allah, your Lord. And this kind of doing, the foolish so-called Negro will be trapped. There are even some weak Muslims who ignore this one. Some even go as far as to marry the enemy of Islam. They even hate me for teaching the truth of the enemy. But Allah is with me and had no right to worry about the doing of the people at the knowledge. The enemy does not love neither you or me, as the next verse teach. If they find you, they will be your enemies and will stretch forth towards you their hands and a tongue of evil and desire that you may disbelieve. They will slay you with their hands and speak evil to you and of you with their tongue. You must remember that you do not like one who befriend your enemies. Now, how much does God dislike you for making love with his enemy? The enemy does not have to be a real devil. He could be your father, mother, brother, husband, wife, or children. Many times they are your own household. Today is a great time of the separation of the righteous Muslims and the wicked white race. See, the wicked are not by any means asleep to the knowledge of the truth. They are really on a job of truth. So you must know the truth, whether you accept it or reject it. Ask yourself these questions. Number one, if Christianity is the religion of Jesus, why is that the wicked white race represented instead of the righteous holy people of the East of Islam? Number two, why has not the holy city of Mecca allowed it to be taught within her? Number three, why is not Jerusalem the capital of Christianity instead of Rome, Italy? Number four, if Christianity was the religion of Jesus and the right race of Jesus, beloved people, why did he preach the doom of the right race and the coming of a new world? These people will most certainly carry to their doom many of our people, because our people fear and love of them. Look out of your doors or windows and see this black woman sitting in a car close in the arms of your and her enemy. See, the enemy does not love her. He only wants to disgrace her and you and keep her from seeing the hereafter. You cannot have any such freedom with this woman, especially not in front of this door. Love of them will get you to hell. America trying to hold her place as the greatest power amongst the nations of earth is one of the most troubled countries on earth today as we see. The world had never before seen top rulers of the land leaving office to visit nations abroad. The purpose of these visits to foreign countries is to make peace with them after all the years of troubling them. America brought all of her trouble upon herself. She alone is to be charged with being the cause of the troubled world and people today. America loves meddling other people's affairs, just cannot stay out other people's business, whether they be a 2-cent worth soapbox teacher or president and kings of countries. America action fits the descriptions of the prophecy, the Bible. The beasts have eyes around and about. This refers to the mechanical listening devices, which America listened in on other people private affairs, as well as to listen in on foreign governmental affairs. This also refers to powerful telescopes. America goes aboard and makes wars against other people. Then she charged them with making war against her when she is the one who is guilty of war making. The Bible says Allah God will destroy those who delight themselves in making war. Now, she has become a habitation of devils. This we see of America, the glory of the world, and wealth, sport, and play. Her merchant ships prolonging the high seas, carrying her costly merchandises throughout the population of the nations of the earth. The Bible, Revelations 18, verse 19. The ships of America can be seen everywhere, in every part of the nations of earth. And our great navies is built to command the high seas. Her decks are mounted with great bursting rifle barrel guns. See, the decks of her ships are covered with planes, which wish to carry deadly bombshells to pour on other nations who dare now to reject her interests into their water. The writer John foresaw America threatened and daring the nation to disobey her orders and to allow her interests. American Navy planes fly high in air with their deadly bombs held ready to drop on towns and cities and other nations who dare to attack her. The skies over America is shadowed with thousands of planes, but yet their grievous destructions awaits America. America sent planes flying out of her country to shoot them out into space by the means of the most modern rocket designed for space travel. At home, America's country is as the prophet foresaw and prophesied of it. America is covered with planes. The army is standing ready to stop inside rebellion. Now the prophet who foresaw all this readiness and preparations for the war showdown, military might says, whom to a land shadowed with wings. The Bible, Isaiah 18, verse 1. America, take a look around the dead pieces of our earth. The moon, she wants to see if they can do her harm. America, take a look at Venus and Mars to see if there are signs of any gods on this planet who are capable of warring with her. America boasts of her abilities to kill the civilizations of Earth 3 times over and have an army left to attack anywhere else. An army may rise against her. The kings who were the world ruler of their day and time made great boasts. Pharaoh also made great mock of Allah Jehovah and his power to attack Pharaoh. In the Holy Quran, Pharaoh said to Moses concerning Allah, Lord of the world. Surah 20:49. Who is your Lord, O Moses? Pharaoh says to his slave, Moses, and words to say, take another God besides me. Holy Quran, Surah 20:71. So I, Pharaoh, shall cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides. But Israel took another God, Allah, Jehovah, beside Pharaoh, and they did not lose their hands and feet on opposite sides. The people cried about death and destruction, playing their habit over America, but they never cried about the evil that they are committing, which is the cause of this destruction coming into our borders, bringing flood, rain, ice, hail, earthquakes, fire, daily, nightly, somewhere on the surface of the land of America. The Bible refers to America by the name of Babylon, and it teaches us. Revelation 18, verse 2, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. and become the habitation of devils, and a hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. This is true. America have accepted immigrants are the most evil, lurid characters from Europe. America have filled her country with evil, and there is no good in the work of America. America hates the doers of good and seeks to destroy them. This is the cause of the fall of America. You can bear witness to the deadly storms we see and the twisters that are striking America and the area where some of you may live. Can you not see that Allah God is after you? Evil done to his people, black man, the rich, the wealthy, and the powerful rulers of America, from the mayors of the cities, the police commissioner up to the president, work to oppose the black one slave return to his own. All of this hasten their doom, as the Bible teach us. Psalms chapter 2, verse 4 teach us. He that sits in the heaven shall laugh. The Lord shall have them. Allah God laugh at their struggle to bring to nothing his aim and purpose of freedom, justice, and equality to his black people. Allah God hath the heads of America in confusion to the limits of theirs. Another place, the Bible teaches us that he Allah would turn them backwards. Isaiah 44:25. Evil and filth are the God and worship of America. Never had a people on the face of the earth become so bold in their evil practice we see. Never before America had there been a nation on the face of the earth where scores of murder take place daily and nightly in one large metropolitan city of America. The death rate is terrific. Children kill children, males against males, females against females, destroying each other. The women have no shyness. The American designers and manufacturers dress the woman up about one-third of her dress and turn her out partially nude before the public. You will not expect to witness this in a country that preached Christ Jesus and have church dotted here and there throughout the land. You can hardly walk 2 or 3 blocks in the city without walking into a door of a church. The Christian profess to be the most truly righteous people in their countries. All night long, their voices are heard on the air preaching Jesus Christ, the prophet who lived 2,000 years ago. He is dead, cannot hear the prayers of anyone, not even his own. Now the Christian preachers try to fool you by telling you that if you pray to the prophet Jesus, that he will hear you. This is false. He cannot hear you. If that was true, why cannot they get him to hear them when they call for peace anywhere? Now we got to call on God. Jesus couldn't tell all, but he says, worship our God, your God, my God. He told Mary Magdalene, the woman he cast out 7 demons. In Hebrew 5:7, he was very submissive, even to a point of death. So their doctrines is used to deceive this black man so that he would stay on his knees praying for something that he would never get an answer. He would never get an answer from a dead prophet. Now, what kind of a little girl can be respected from a mother who's walking around one half naked and displaying herself into the world, dressed in such a dress that no animal will wear? There is more shyness and display in animal than there is in a so-called Christian American dress and a mini dress. So the black woman should be too proud of herself to disgrace herself in the same manner as her white slave mistress. The black man should be sent to prison for being such a fool as to allow his wife and daughter to go out and show their new selves to the world. Newity is originated from the right race. Now they want to say to the world that I'm the guide. The guide to what? The Holy Quran says that they lead you to nothing but filth and evil. The Bible is referring to the people of America when it's referring to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. Allah God destroyed them. We saw that it was good to do so. We see in Genesis 19:13, as it was with Sodom and Gomorrah, so will it be with America. Now, the mystery of Babylon the Great is referred to America. Now, we see according to the English interpretations, the word mystery means unknown, uncertain, obscure, concealed, a secret kept to oneself between you and me, locked up something that have not been or cannot be explained. And theologically, it is a supposed truth or facts of great religious imports, which is beyond human comprehension. We see in the time of the translation of the Bible into the English, some or all of the scholars, with neither without spiritual understanding, or downright crock, who sought to hide that truth in a book that they thought revealed to the world their untrue selves. The mystery of Babylon had not come into existence. In ancient times, see, Babylon under the kings was the great city of idol worship and evil. She was the queen of evil, rich and well fortified. But this mystery Babylon must refer to a future city or people. No city or people answer the description better than the city and people of America. This mystery Babylon just could not be the ancient Babylon as we know her history. You must remember that I'm interested in bringing this truth to my people as clear as sunshine. So be not disturbed in seeing and hearing it the clear and simple way. My people are the blind, deaf, and dumb of the nation of this earth. They must be taught the truth by one who knows it. And I'm he who knows the truth, and have been missioned from the Lord of the world to tell the truth, whether it's to your liking or disliking. Now, we see America and her future was not known in those days when the Bible was being translated into the English language. Not until 1611 did the translators bring into existence what is known as the King James Authorized Version. According to the history, there were several attempts made before to get the Bible to the people in the English language, but they was met with opposition. America was discovered, we see, in 1492. These first translation of the Bible was far more near the truth than these later translations. The so-called Negro slave was not given the King James Version to read until it was over 300 years old. The white slave master was not interested in educating a religious Negro, and there are not today. The so-called Negro now must understand that which was hidden from them by the slave master. The mystery of Babylon, the great we see, is none other than America. The mystery of Babylon is full of riches, hatred, filth, fornication, adultery, drunkenness, murder of the innocents, and idol worship. The mystery of Babylon is full of names of blasphemy. See, America is full of our religious faiths of the most ignorant kinds. She was once the greatest sell buyer and seller. She had the greatest merchant marine service, the world's greatest export shippers, and the merchandise of wheat, beasts, sheep, horses, chariots, gold, silver, iron, brass, wood, slave, flying, flour, corns, and many others. You must know that all of the revelation, or at least 90%, is directed to America. The 17th and 18th chapters should open the so-called Negro, eyes to the right race and right Christianity. There is no hereafter for the right race. Some few who are in Asia will stick around for a while. America seemed to be the answer to many of the Bible and Holy Quran prophecy. It is mentioned we see in Jeremiah 51, verse 9, that ancient Babylon could have been healed, but she was not, for her wickedness was such that she was neither healed nor forgiven. The charge against ancient Babylon, according to her history, was that she persecuted and imprisoned the Jews. She brought them into captivity from Jerusalem after taking of Jerusalem. Kings also punished for his part in enslavement, according to the ancient history of Babylon. The king had amongst the Jews whom he held in captivity Daniel, a prophet of Israel. The king did not love Daniel and his prophethood, but he was able to get Allah's prophecy of destruction of Babylon from Daniel. But remember, he still held Daniel as a slave and a prisoner with the other common Jews. Under the kings, we see Daniel was still alive, who was used for revealing God's aim and purpose against Babylon. After studying the history of destruction of ancient Babylon under these two kings, we have a very good geographic picture pointing to a future people and country. The words, "we have healed Babylon, but she is not healed," do not say why she was not healed. Was there a possible chance for the Babylonians being forgiven because of the evil done to the Jews? The sacking of Jerusalem, the destruction of the temple, and the bringing out from her temple the sacred vessels to be used for sport under their reign. Could this crime of the Babylonians be forgiven? If not forgiven, what does this teach us? Is not the history of ancient Babylon unforgiven? Evil, a sign that a future enslavement of God's people, the American so-called Negro, will not be forgiven. Yet there may be a chance, as Babylon had, but they will not do that which God desired them to do, so that he may pardon them and forgive them and prolong their time. The revelation of John prophesies were that they repent not of their evil deeds, but blasphemy the very name of God. Revelation 16:9. Therefore, when a man is guilty of a great evil done against the cause of God and his people, he cannot be forgiven unless he seeks forgiveness himself. We see this in the working of the fall of America today. I said fall, for most surely this is the divine fall of America, as it was of ancient Babylon for its evil done to the Jews. Even to this late date, America does not want to repent of her evil done to her black slaves. I have given her a right chance, but she does not want to do justice by her free slave to get the extension of time from Allah. He will free the slave indeed, the ignorant ones who want to stay with her just because they are too lazy to accept their own responsibility, or too much in love with the unlike white people who have attracted them to such extent that they have become a charm, want to remain with this white master even if they are just given food and shelter. This type of people is not wanted by any nation. No nation wants slaves on the base of taking the responsibility to care for them when they can care for themselves. The American black was slave for 400 years and now become a free, proud slave and a lover of their children or their once slave masters. They refuse a white America to do something about justice for her so-called free slave is bring her into the same type of judgment that God brought upon ancient Babylon. Jeremiah 51:45 mentioned a warning to a people. of God to flee out of Babylon? Could this be referring to the captive Jews of ancient Babylon? If God called the ancient Jews his people, it was for a sign of a future people that he would choose to call his people the American so-called Negro. The black people of America today are called his chosen people by God himself, chosen by him to build a new government based upon truth, freedom, justice, and equality. This type of government is to live forever and never to be removed from the people according to Daniel prophecy of a kingdom of God set up in these last days, the government of which will not be left to the people. God himself will be the head and the ruler. In ancient Babylon history, the enslaved Jews was ordered to flee out of Ramillis and be delivered every man his soul from the furious anger of the Lord. Jeremiah 51:45. The last book of the Bible, the Revelation of John 18 verse 4, makes this a little clearer. Both prophecies are similar, but the one in Revelation is warning the people to flee out of Babylon so that they be not partaker of her sins of Babylon. Receive not of her pledge. This shows that God was going to pledge America and that his people should not suffer divine pledge sent upon America. They are ordered to flee out of her. This is a future prophecy of a future Babylon similar to ancient Babylon under the kings. Now, the history of these two kings of ancient Babylon teach us that they held slaves who were trying to serve the right God. The coming of Allah and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, was for the deliverance seed of the lost and found people, black from a 400-year-old enemy who had never shown them anything but evil, murder, and death. Be very angry, as it was written of him, and as I know it to be the truth, desire nothing more than freedom, justice, and equality for us, the once lost and now found black members of our nation, original black nation of the earth. America is now at war with God through God's people, the so-called Negro. The confusion and the pledge of the country with disaster, one right after another, is divine retaliation against white America, evil doing, and intentions against her one slave and her false friendship, which has her open her home to integrate the people of God with them who by nature are different or forged. Till the white men have poisoned our people's minds so thoroughly that they will fight against their own God and starvation to gain favors of their own enemies. We call Islam the true religion of God to us. The one slave of America is the same call telling us to flee out of America's way of life. Our life may be saved from the divine destruction of a non-repentant enemy. Jeremiah 51:45. Divine pledge and forging war are now destroying America's standard of life and money. Her deceitful, filthy temptation now being displayed before one slave in the world are designed to make the one slave an enemy of his God and his own starvation, and are designed to make them take part with them against the aim and purpose of Allah, which is to set the so-called Negro in heaven while he lived. A prophecy relating to America is mentioned in Isaiah 47, verse 1, as a virgin daughter of ancient Babylon history. As we all know, America is the last, the greatest, and the richest remaining power of the right nations. But now she is falling. And the prophet Isaiah says, "Come, sit in the dust, humble yourself, for you are no more called delicate." We see the filthy displayed by white American Christians. We see walk around half nude. See sitting before their pastors in their church with justice halfway up their thighs. For the pastors stare at their new forms, goes on in their churches. The pastor should actually be standing at the door, telling such disgracefully dressed people that he preached the word of God and that God wants us to be clean, both internally and externally, and that we should not tempt the nation to do evil and filth. But he has his church doors open, and he's happy to have them in rows sitting before his eyes, knowing that this is against the teachings of God. Turn his house of God into a worship of filth and evil. Now, can the church survive? Can American Christianity survive these days of divine judgment against white America? The Revelation reads, and a prophecy relating to America, that she had in her a hole for every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful birds. Revelation 18, verse 2. We see all hateful birds have a haven in America, though the scientists and scholars of the religion of Christianity knows these words to be true. Desire yet to see, already made blind, deaf, dumb, so-called Negro, to go to his doom with them. And since they are by nature evil, they tempt them. The Holy Quran teaches that they only lead you to filth and evil. This is perfectly manifested today in America amongst his people, ruled by the white man. The very consciousness of an individual knows that these evil we see today are not accepted by God. The desire to marry and integrate amongst people whom God has made to be his and our enemies is beyond one imagination. Jeremiah 51:46 prophesies violence in the midst of Babylon and future Babylon. Rulers against rulers. Is this true of American governments we see and people today? A whole land, people shall be confounded. Jeremiah 51:47. Is not this true of American governments and people today? They are fast becoming confounded, and all her slaves shall fall in the midst of her. Jeremiah 51:47. In every hour in the day and night, people are being murdered and killed in America throughout her cities and highways. Murdering and killing is the orders of the days in America. The Bible mentioned that God used the destroying wind, Jeremiah 51, verse 1, against those who oppose his purpose and aim. Is it not true that day and night, somewhere in America, there are destructive tornadoes and storms destroying the property and life of Americans? Go to sleep to reality of the judgment of America, a repetition of ancient Babylon judgment. If you like to be caught in the snare, as God has set a snare for ancient Babylon, Jeremiah 50:24, and ancient Babylon was taken in that snare. So it is with America. Long before America ever thought that she should repent of her evil done to a slave or reject repentance, God has set the snare to catch her. America is now in the same snare that God set for ancient Babylon. Will America repent that she should be healed, or will she ignore it? Now, the judgment of America has come. The dreadful days we see of the Lord has now come to America. We see the lands and the people who have worshipped evil, the robbery, murder, rape, famine, and deceits are the only order of the days in America. If there is anything like a God of righteousness, if there is anything like God of truth, should not he raise himself up and take his place to put an end to such evil as now going on in America. The people cannot walk these streets of America today without subjecting themselves to robbery, murder, rape. America is a wicked land. Everyone is against the other. Righteousness, justice, and freedom are despised and fought against, regardless to the clear knowledge of God's hourly punishment and destruction of America by his divine pledge of storms. But this is as we see is written of America in the Bible revelation. In the Bible, they continue the evil ways and did blasphemy to God, who had power over the pledge. They hate the name of our God, the great Mahdi. They hate the name of his messengers. But nevertheless, that does not stop the judgment and destruction of America. Now look at the wicked devil in Alabama. They are against us while we are trying to be at peace with them. But there is no peace in them. We have done nothing to them. See, they are against us just because the idea that we are Muslims, black people. So the white man has his way of ruling the black people for so long that he thinks that he still has the power to do so, while in reality, the white men have come to an end of his time of power to rule the black people. Regardless to allow God retaliation to the white man for his evil act done to the black man. Now the white man still keeps inviting the retaliation of Allah God. The white man must remember that he cannot win the day over Allah God and for his servants, for he has power. The judgment of America. Judgment have come to you, America. Now whom to you who seeks to fight against Allah and against his aim and purpose? Whom to you, America, Allah God has made you blind through his judgment, and therefore you are committing suicide. He has made you blind on purpose to give you the full dose of his wrath. When a man does not know the danger of fire, then he can fall headlong into it. America has mistreated the black man for 400 years, and she does not think that there is ever a God who would set her black slave and return on her head the injustice done to her black slave. This is the day and time in which America can benefit from what Allah God have revealed to me and from the work that I'm doing among my black people, turning them from doing evil into righteousness. As it is written in the Bible, Babylon could have been healed, and there was a possible chance for a healing. And she had not gone to extreme by making fun of the God of the Jews and a temple in Jerusalem and belittling the powers of the God of the Jews to retaliate. The Bible prophesies of the pledge that will come upon America. And these pledges are falling on America now. And yet she will not repent. America continued to kill and deprive the black one slave of righteousness and justice. Even though the black slave wants to go from America, she wants to hold on to him. America does not want to let her black slave go. See, America holds the black slave for a prey. Whom to America, her days has arrived. She would not heed the warning. I beg her to let us be separate from her on a little territory and a state to ourselves, and to let us be responsible for our own survival, only to get out from under her injustice. But she refused. So we see it was with Pharaoh in the time of Moses. God went down to Egypt to make Israel and her enemies, the Egyptian, an example we see for future people, so that this may serve as a sign for what we see going on today in America. The four great judgments that Allah God promised to destroy America, which are now coming upon her: hail, snow, drought, fire, earthquakes. Allah God hath reserved his treasure of snow and ice to be used against this wicked country, America, and the days we see of battle and war. These are see the storms that we see going on. The white man of America is not blind and ignorant. He had known these prophecies of his doom for a long time before we knew it. For the white man translates the Bible, and he knows what he puts in his translation of that which was written in the Bible. The judgment of America. See, all love and respect of the wicked has gone from them. They do not love each other nor respect each other. See, they have pulled off their clothes and disgraced themselves. This is also a pledge. You see, some of these white people rehearsing the cage days of their fathers, and you see they are not ashamed to do so. They will come out with long, straggly hair, as their fathers did in their days of their cage. This is Allah God forcing the white man to bear him witness that they really wants the caveman. Yet, a few foolish, unlearned black people follow the white man. It is a shame to pull off their clothes and grow hair down their backs and over their face by misleading the black man and to fall in the ways of the white man's savage cage lives. The white man again telling the world how he had deceived the black man is now making the black man manifest that he is too weak to seek after his own. For nearly 40 years, I have been preaching to the black man in America that we should accept on. Instead of this black man going to the decent side of his own, he goes back seeking transitional Africa in the way they did in the jungle life, and the way you see in uncivilized parts of Africa today. They are not using barber tools, sneers, razors to keep themselves looking dignified as a civilized people should look. The black men in America accept the jungle life, thinking that they would get the love of black Africa. Black brothers and black sisters wearing savage dress and hairstyles would not get you love for Africa. So the identified people of Africa are neither Muslims or educated Christians. But Africa does not want Christianity. Do not think that you get a home in Africa after this war if you are a Christian. To get a home in Africa after war, you have to be a Muslim. The judgment of America, she is made manifest, as it is written, we see in the Bible, Revelation. She is a cage to every unclean and hateful bird, and every unclean and hateful human being. America, America, your days have come. Evil done to your black slave. America cannot repay that evil with another evil. And trying to tempt this black slave or offer them your white woman. That does not help you in this day, but it does condemn you as being a double crossing. That you will even offer your black one slave, your girls and women to do with them as they please, if they will just follow you. The judgment of America. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. America just beginning to experience sorrows, mourning, grief, and distrust, anger God and man, according to both the Holy Quran and the Bible. There will be plenty more of the same. And these two books, one can easily find everything foretold that is happening today. Time will go so terrible some. According to the Holy Quran, children will become gravehead. According to the Bible, great heart failures will become a disease upon the people who had anger of God, the American people. The fourth beast in the Revelation of John, and the Bible, of which Daniel describes as a very dreadful, well-armed beast, working or that of death upon the weak, refers to America. She had no respect for the poor, the unfortunate. Daniel's description of a rib between the teeth of the beast is in a reference to this ill treatment, subjection, ruthless behaviors of the devil to our people. This America Latins the poor with heavy sentences, long prison terms, refuse to let the prisoners go free. This is due to our heartlessness and lack of compassion for the black man of America. This beast white man lies and waits around the black man home and prowls the streets at night and wait for an excuse to wreak his ruthlessness on his poor prey, the black man. If the black man raises a hand to protect and defend himself, he is shot dead and is unable to defend himself against false charges. This beast keeps our people in sorrow and unhappiness by depriving them of equal opportunities. The black man's wages are calculated by white wicked accountants, preventing the so-called nickel from saving by skyrocketing and the views of the poor, the prices of the necessary of life. Now this white beast persecutes in prisons and kill those who preach freedom and justice for the poor, so-called nickel. The white man does not want the so-called nickel to leave America, but she would not divide the spoil of America, the country which she has taken by the force of arms and killing its owners, the Indians, with them. This beast set up evil to be idolized as a god. She discussed good for evil, and she covered earth, making it filth, fascinate, so that man's will bow down and worship evil for good. She set brothers against brothers for her joy, and then she kills both of them. Whom to America, the murderers and deceivers of the people. The God of justice and truth has pronounced a judgment against you, and by no means will you escape. You have made mockery of him, God, and his people, and his words, the truth. You have been judged and found wanting to the so-called American iniquity. The lost are now found members of the black nations of this earth. Come unite with Allah and me. Go to your own. You don't have to go anywhere. If you only will, unite with your own. Heaven awaits you, wherever you may be. Okay, the four great judgments that Almighty Allah is bringing upon America. We see our rain, hail, snow, and earthquake. America is at war with herself. So we see the judgment of America. We see them now covering her all sides, as the Holy Quran prophesies. Surah 13:41, we have Bizarland and curtain her on all her sides. And these judgments will push the people into the center of the country. And they will realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them in a country to a nothing. And Job in the Bible prophesies that Allah God has the snow and ice to use as his weapons in the days of war and battle against the wicked. We hear and read in the newspaper today of how great hill-like little mountains of snow are pushing down from the north, not only in the northern states of Minnesota. We see North and South Dakota, Montana, but now the snow is in the New England states, and they are declared to be disaster areas. The announcer, a disaster of snow in the New England states, says that there had never been such great quantity of snow. All up and down, we see the coast to Carolina. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. All around the southern borders of America, snow and these storms are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rain, and more storms on the way, one right after another. We see In the north and far west, and even in the east, America is surrounded with the great judgment of Allah, God. There are earthquakes, and the seas are raging. Now the Pacific Ocean is now enraged, tossing up great waves as never before. Now, why should these things hit America? The Revelation teach you why. It is because America is filled with devils and has such unclean person living in America. That is true. On the hateful birds, we see every filthy, shameless, wicked person comes here for a haven, where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. The country opens and welcomes that type of person. As we see, the few little Muslims who name Muslim means those who have submitted to the will of Allah. How the enemy hates us and seeks to do all the evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, and Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. See, these are new times. The enemy does not get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. Allah, the God of righteousness, is with us, and he just laughs at those who are trying to fight against him. He has destroyed a whole nation with less than the power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. The Holy Quran has the record of people even being destroyed. Allah, God, does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to war and get a block of iron or a mountain and throw it on you. He used that which is with you, against you. The force and nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon America. Storms after storms of snow and ice are rolling in from the north and are pushing great drifts that are just covering up everything. What can you do with a God like that? Job prophesies that Allah God has his weapons stored up to use in the days of battle and war with the wicked. He just takes some snow and cover them all up. Holy Quran says that Allah God destroyed people with just cold wind. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah, God? See, no wonder the second song prophesies that he would sit in the heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He will have you crazy. It is true. See, the heads of the governments of this Christian world are confused, and they do not know that they are confused. Why? Because the great desire was to confuse us. Now, Allah, God, has taken confusion out of us and put it into them. Now eat, America. Help yourself to the desert that you have prepared for us. You eat it. All praise or due to Allah God came in a person, a Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. We went to Alabama, and to any states that we go to, we pay a high price per acre of land that our father labor has already brought for us. Now he wants to kill us if we act humble and peaceful. We want to buy back some of our own labors. I laugh at some of these things that are here coming out of Alabama. And not only in Alabama, but in every other states we see in the union. They do not know the time in which they are living. Allah God is well able to take this country from them and give it to whom he pleases. And it's in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdom from the wicked and gave it to whom he pleases, those who will bring people into righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah, the four great judgments received: rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and the confusion in the heads of states. To be pledged with too much rain, we see will destroy properties and lives. too much rain, we see will flood cities and towns. Large bodies of water at the ocean shoreline will be made to swell with unusual highways, dumping billions of tons of water over this now seashore line. Rain will destroy properties and kill cattle by drowning them in lowland. Rain destroyed the hiding places of victorious beasts, reptiles, bringing them out and fighting in small towns and people homes and farms. Rain weakens and destroys railroads, truck lines, beds, and bridges. Rain makes the atmosphere too heavy, causing sickness to the people. Wind with rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, bringing germs, causing sickness. It produces unclean water by the swelling of the stream and destroying of the pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is a most dreaded pledge when it comes in great drifts from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your properties and life. It destroys your highways and your cities. It put a burden of expense upon the cities. Decayed ends or roofs of homes. We see the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportation, isolation areas, bring about the starvation. Communication is destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. Snow looks pretty because of its clean look. Now, almost everything in nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man.